So what's up, guys, lads and ladies? We back. Myself, Cameron.
Wow. We're here.
In Palm Springs, California. It's been a year since I last saw my boy.
Yeah.
And what are we doing?
Dude, we're recording this podcast for the third time because of technical
the audio
difficulties. Oh, man. So whenever me and Jacoby hang out, it's always like some shit happens. Like,
always.
First time, I don't even remember, honestly, the first time we hung out. But I do remember that boat trip.
Yeah. He fell in the water.
Where that catastrophe happened. This time, we're back in Palm Springs, and Jacoby's got another boat thing happening. We're trying to get out here at a certain time. And his boat...
I've been fixing up my sailboat the past week and a half, so it's been fun. It's been a lot of work. There's always more things. There's always more problems than you expect whenever you're doing renovations and fixing stuff. But we made it happen. Got it back in the water. Everything's running smooth. And then now we're out here. Happy to see my boy.
Yeah.
In Palm Springs. We're here watching some tennis.
Yep. So he's got to go in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. So
just FYI for you guys.
We got about 10 minutes here, and then we'll catch you guys back up with some tennis.
Yeah. So we're literally just recording this intro, saying what's up, hi, kicking it off with good mics, and just our chaos, as you can see. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like every time we hang out, like some shit happens, like something like not chaotic, but like there's some shit.
Something random.
Yeah, unexpected. Let's say that. Let's say
I'm an unexpected man. What can I say?
You're a man of unexpectedness.
It's true.
It's true.
But yeah, dude. So for you right now, you're getting ready to get back into a little travel mode. Or
yeah, man. Yeah, I've just been back, like collecting myself from this crazy year. And dude, I feel so good to just kind of be back into my body. I had a lot of like, I don't know, I guess mental stuff going on, honestly, just mindset really.
Yeah.
And yeah, I finally have like just overcome a lot of like trauma I guess I've had. And I mean, it really wasn't too big of a deal really what ended up happening, but now I'm like back in LA, just collecting myself, getting my business back together, and going to be doing a lot more trips. New York, Hawaii, like we were talking about.
Solid.
Cape Town end of the year, the annual pilgrimage to Cape Town. So back on my travel hoe bullshit, on my fucking
on your grind, just
on my travel influence.
Traveling, man. Life is so hard for us, man. We just get to travel around, make money.
It's the worst.
And just be fit.
And do nothing. Literally do nothing.
What are we doing right now?
Nothing. We're just talking and money's coming in.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What is life, man? This is a crazy game.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's kind of the update for me.
That's the update for me. What is the update for me? I mean, yeah, you guys been keeping up a bit, but yeah, it's been hectic. Just got back into town, back into California, back into San Diego. Actually, I was in Europe, so I just got back like 2 weeks ago, which was a fun time out there. Yeah, first Euro summer.
Yeah.
Was it your first Euro?
Yeah,
summer
first
too?
Euro summer as well. Although it wasn't like very full fledged for me.
Yeah, it was more of like a quick Euro summer.
Quick
I wasn't doing the full lifestyle.
This year for sure.
Next year will probably be. It was just like a quick trip, seeing some friends.
Yeah,
Spent
exactly.
my birthday in Amsterdam.
That's pretty much what I did. I was like birthday in Paris. Lake Como with the family. That was about it.
Nice, dude. Lake Como was sick. How'd you like it?
It was amazing. I wish I spent more. I wish I spent my birthday there. I wish I spent like my whole time there.
So beautiful.
Dude, it was really nice.
Where they filmed Star Wars.
Yeah.
And also, what's the other movie they filmed there? Star Wars. That's the main one.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny because like a lot of times guys will take their chicks out there for like a honeymoon, and it's like the girls are like, "Yo, this is so beautiful. It's so amazing. Like, wow, you're so romantic." And then the guy's just there because he's a Star Wars nerd.
What should we talk about when we get to the tennis court to leave them like open hooked?
Oh, we need to give you guys a little baiter.
Yeah, because we talked about the cycles. I don't know if this intro got the cycles, but we did. Like I said, we recorded like 2 of these basically so far. So we talked about our cycles, how we're always meeting at the bottom of the cycle. With fall, winter, we're replaying deja vu here. I feel like a lot's changed this year, and I don't know. For me, we could talk about business. Where you're at with...
We could talk about business, yeah. We could talk. I mean, I've
there's some updates. There's definitely some 2023, 24 updates.
Yeah.
for sure on the marketing space.
Sure.
Would love to talk about that with you.
Yeah, we can definitely get into some business stuff. Talk about how to travel and make money. Some guys just get into this. Okay, I see Cameron's living a sick life. He's in Tulum. I see Jacoby in Tulum. That's actually where we first kind of ran into each other. That's when I first kind of got into this game. Then you were in Bali, and we've just been doing our thing, man. And
yeah, it's true.
We want other people to do the same, man. This is a great life. We got to share it.
I know. I feel we always have a good synergy, you and I.
Yeah.
Whenever we even first met, I just knew instantly. You always have those connections, and so yeah, I just wanna. I don't know. I guess we can talk about just like what's next for both of us.
Interesting. Yeah. How to meet sick people while you're traveling too, because that's a big thing, right? Like. You went out to Tulum on your own. I went out to Tulum on my own.
Yeah, I think what would be valuable is just like sharing what's new, like what the updates are.
Yeah, updates, the business updates.
Yeah, for me, my biggest thing has been health recently, and I feel I have a lot to share about that. I've went like super deep into detox with my coach Josh, and yeah, even the water you're drinking, comes down to a lot of this stuff. I feel like there's a lot of health shit that actually like people just kind of overlook or are just not present to, and yeah, I think you and I both are kind of on that same frequency of like, actually look at this stuff. Like we just crushed some raw eggs before this,
man, because it's simple: health, diet, these very simple things that you can do in your life, getting some daily exercise, getting some sun on your body, all these things, man, there's little things that change so much. Change so much. Yeah, you cannot be drinking the fluoride and all this stuff that's coming in.
Even showering with it is like a hard thing for me.
If you want to be...
Like my skin has been like dried out.
It's dried out, dude. I was noticing that too from this shower here.
Oh man, I've been detoxing hard. Like, dude,
you've been fasting recently? I know last time we chatted.
I haven't been fasting. I did a few big fasts this year. I did like a 5-day fast, which was...
First 5 day?
Yeah, first 5 days.
Oh yeah, I remember last time we chatted, I was talking about the 5 day, I remember.
Yeah, I did a 5 day.
Did you like it?
It was really good, man. Just
it's
like
good, right? It's solid.
At the end, you're just pieced out.
You feel so clean.
I know, like your whole thing is just cleared.
You
Man,
feel clean.
So, and it is a journey, like those fasts, because like you definitely have that spike of like emotions and like anxiety and all that shit, and then it like comes down, and you get like really peaceful, and then maybe there's another spike or something, but like that's those longer fasts are really good journeys to go on. So I haven't done one of those recently, but I've been doing a lot of detox and like a lot of like supplements and just a lot of different stuff to just clear out. First I did a colon cleanse, then I did, now I'm doing like gut healing, and now I'm doing, next time I'm going to do like liver cleanse and then parasites. That's kind of like where the path I'm on right now, which should be like another 2-3 months. And then I'll probably just go back to being a little bit more degenerate, especially this summer.
The liver cleanse I'm keen on, man, because I stopped drinking alcohol. I'm really keen to see how that works. Me too.
What's the process like for that? You go to Zen Cleanse. I think it's just zencleanse.com, but you just get a liver cleanse, Zen Cleanse. It's like a 1-day cleanse. You eat like pretty clean before, and then do the cleanse, eat a little bit clean after, and that's it. It just like cleanses your whole thing. It's basically like a 1-day enzyme cleanse, so you're just like drinking enzymes every like hour basically, and then the enzymes just like clean out your liver, I guess, and then you're gonna like poop out these liver stones, which are like really hard stuff that's like your liver's been like holding on to. So it's like a big emotional release as well, because you're like all that stuff is just like being released from you. It's being detoxed.
And the colon,
colon was similar. It's kind of same thing.
Yeah.
A bunch of mucoid plaque came out of me, which is like this mucus that's kind of caked onto your intestines that doesn't get digested, and it's like a rubbery stuff. And I dropped all that stuff. It felt so like relieving, and just happiness came back into my body.
That's crazy.
Because you're like holding on to shit, especially in your like your stomach and your like this is like your main engine, your energy chakra, so like all your chi is right there, and so sometimes you get blocked in your chi, and when you can like just release it, then like your chi starts to flow more. So yeah.
That's solid. So you did the colon cleanse, you're gonna do the liver cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
What the ones did you
I
do?
think liver cleanse this month, and then parasites are next after that.
You need some parasites in your body. I had a worm come out of my foot.
Out of your foot?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I had a worm come out of my foot back in, I think it was like end of March when I was living in the hut out in Gambia.
Oh, damn.
I think so. I was running on the beach, and so I'd run every day on the beach for like, long runs, 2 hours, and just go see nobody. It was just beautiful, straight out of Castaway, Eclectic Beach.
Really?
And I cut my foot on a shell, I think it was.
Ooh.
And I had this little open gash. And I was swimming every day. I'd just go out in the ocean. And so I think it wasn't getting covered well. And then I think what happened is a housefly came and laid its egg in there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and so then, it started to close up, and then it started swelling. So there were a couple of nights I couldn't even sleep, and there was just this big,
oh, dude.
like swollen
No.
red part on the side of my foot.
Why
and
am
I
I
could feel it, like at night, I could feel it moving inside my foot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then so one morning I was out on the beach, just chilling there, doing my morning meditation, and I just like looked at it, started squeezing the edges because it was really kind of like a boil, but it was really, really tight skin. I just squeezed it, and then just like a little head popped up, and I kept squeezing it, and then it came out. I grabbed it and I just started pulling it out. And it just started coming out, and then eventually I pulled it out, and it was such a release, man, to get that out. I could just feel the pressure release. And it was probably about the length of my pinky. Anyways, we'll talk to you guys soon in
Holy
we'll talk to you guys at the tennis match.
Holy shit.
Peace. I got an actual like scar on my foot actually. Real quick. Right here.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. So how big was it? It was like that big?
Length of my probably that long. Like a little inchworm, probably the width of
Jeez.
like a little bit thicker than that. Like that. And it just like came out the little head and I grabbed it.
A fly came in just.
And then you'd think that you'd probably want to kill it, right? Because it just came out. But I was actually kind of in a weird way impressed that I carried that animal for so long. So I literally took it into the grass and I let it go. I was like, be free.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's out there living its life.
Oh my god. Dude, what the fuck?
I'm like a mother, I'm a pregnant mother, giving birth to a worm.
That's too good.
We didn't end up actually watching tennis. Cameron wanted to hear the rest of my worm story, so I told him that and showed him the scar on my foot from my time in Gambia. Then I went and bought some steak and did a Brazilian barbecue, churrasco, and we chilled out the rest of the day. Then we went back to San Diego the following day, hit a little surf session in the morning, then hit my gym and hit the sauna. Then went out and got some tacos, as one does when they're in SD. And then we went to the mall. Cameron needed to get some threads. Didn't actually end up buying any clothes. And then we were ready, and we actually finally did kick off the pod. So here's the rest of that.
Beautiful morning here in San Diego. We're in, I don't even know where we are. We're somewhere close to the water. I don't know the neighborhood, if you guys know San Diego.
We've just been floating the
let me
last like 3 days, 4 days, basically.
Bro, we have been in, where have we been, man? We've been in Palm Springs, we've been in SD, LA, all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's been good.
Yeah.
I was telling Cameron last night, I said, I feel like the best thing is you need at least 3 days minimum in any crib. Anything less than that, I feel is a little bit too little.
Yeah, I agree. For the micro trips. We talked about a lot this last 48 hours, 24 hours. I feel like we basically did the whole podcast just like as we did our life.
Yeah, we did. Nice.
You know, because we've been meaning to film this podcast.
We've been meaning to link up for a minute. So
yeah.
What did we do? Went out surfing. Took this man out to a spot.
Yeah,
where,
yesterday surfed all morning. It was super fun, chill. The waves were kind of shitty, but it was just chill vibes. I mean, being with you is just super funny because you're just like, I don't know, you just don't give a shit.
I don't. And that's
So it's nice.
That's why I'm gonna eat my eggs here on the pod.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
don't care, and I need to get some fuel in my brain. But yeah, dude, Cam, talk to us, man. Tell us about what's going on in your life.
Yeah, while you do those eggs, dude, I've been kind of everywhere recently. I feel like going to the Palm Springs thing, now down in San Diego, I've just been like kind of pulled in a lot of directions. But now I'm just really kind of focused back on copy, VSLs, and honestly it feels good to get a lot of things complete with why you fucking mix that so loud.
Pause.
Dude.
The thing is, like, I don't like having the the yolks, because then you swallow it all whole and it gives you that gag reflex.
Really?
And that's why I think most people don't like raw eggs.
I can do it. I mean,
if you can break
it
that,
doesn't give me that gag reflex when I drink eggs.
Really?
Yeah, I just kind of down them. I do just like I don't sip it like this. I just down the raw egg. You know?
And there's no enjoyment.
I mean, you kind of. I can enjoy it, but it's not like. I don't know. I just kind of get it over with when I'm doing raw eggs.
You just get it over with.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just schlonk them. That's what you do.
Just
you schlonk.
I can schlonk them too.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about a couple things, mainly what we're both doing in business. That's always interesting, but aside from that, just about life, man. Like for real, like it's sometimes I feel like we do talk about a lot of business stuff. And at the end of the day, what really matters? Does money matter?
No, money's
not really.
fake.
Money's fake. Money is just an exchange of value.
Right.
And money comes. I was telling Cameron, this is funny. Yesterday, I worked like 3-4 hours, and I was just like hopping on a couple calls, and I was telling Cameron, I was like, I know I'm so blessed to be in this position where we're both like you too, man. Like we're both working online, making money online, and yet I still think about how can I not even work those few hours.
Yeah, you were telling me.
I forget what I said, but yeah, I was like,
We were talking about like, I don't know. We were talking about like automating something.
yeah,
I forget what it was.
but it's so easy. Like yeah.
Yeah, especially even writing copy is honestly even easier. Like what you do, you just like hop on calls.
I talk to people, so I do have to actually like.
You do have to actually be there. I talk to people as well. Like I have sales calls with clients.
Yeah.
I have like sometimes interviews and stuff like that. But most of my time is spent just like writing things for clients.
When you write, man, are you like what's your flow state? Are you like you put on some tunes?
Like this morning, like I took a walk.
Yeah.
Before you were up, and then I just kind of like wait for that download to hit, and then I just write it down. And a lot of my copy is written like really when I'm half asleep. That's when I get like the best ideas. Is like I'm literally just like half asleep or literally asleep, and then it just hits me from a dream or something like that. And so that's how I write. That's how I write.
I mean, you're good. You're very good at multitasking. Like yesterday, I was literally talking to you, laying on the couch, just lazing around, and he was literally writing at the same time.
Yeah, well,
You
it's like
actually get work
finishing
done?
a conversation. Not like that.
Okay.
The best work is like when it's just fucking focused at a
Just
desk.
focused,
You know?
okay.
Yeah, not like that.
At the end of the day,
But I had to get that email out, and you were just telling me this good story at the same time. So I was like,
yeah. Well, at the end of the day, you got there's going to be times where you have to just focus down and do what you don't want to do, and you just got to.
yeah, of course.
That's the reality of life.
I wrote an email to my list about this as well, like, about the difference between like showing up, doing what you don't want to do, and versus doing what you don't want to do until you do want to do it. Basically, it's kind of like a brain flip thing. So it's like you think like, all right, fuck, I just got to do this thing. Like I just got to write today. I really don't want to do it, but I'm just gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of grimacing through your creative process. Do you know what I mean? You're kind of just forcing it and like grimacing through it versus coming at it with the angle of like, I do love writing. I love the creative stuff, but right now I'm not inspired to write. I'm not like lit up to write. I'm just going to start writing for maybe 5 minutes. And then if I want to stop after 5 minutes, I'll stop. Right. And I'll come back to it later. And then after 5 minutes, you very likely will just continue writing and the flow state will kick in and then you'll be like inspired to like write that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can't create from a place of depletion.
Yeah, exactly.
Never. You have to fill yourself up to then be able to create. And I think that's something that Cameron and I have been talking about because we've been on this personal development journey for a minute, like a while, guys, like years.
Yeah.
It's not something that just happens overnight. You just start making, $10,000 a month online. Like that doesn't just happen overnight. Like it takes time. It does. And I think in the first, what we were saying yesterday, the first few years, or at least the first year for me was like just reading a ton of books, just consuming content.
Right. We're talking
just
about
consuming but the right content, right? Cutting the bad content, that because when you're just
you got to go from like watching the news and freaking
And
fear
scrolling
monger and
TikTok.
just like scrolling, and go from just like consumption to consuming better things. Cut off all that, like cut off the change your environment, make sure you're like in the right space, an environment that inspires you, people you love, people that are like
get out of
on
toxic
a mission.
relationships. I'm sorry if you're in a relationship that's holding you back. You got to break up with them. If you have friends that are also keeping you, drinking all the time and just not on the same wave, you got to cut them. And that's why changing your environment is so important.
Yeah,
because some people they can't physically like
they have those. I mean, dude, that shit just gets in. Like even here, like there's all this subconscious stuff that like we're in this like Airbnb, but like there's like so much subconscious stuff that we don't even realize is getting in to our subconscious. And so you have to be that's why I'm super fucking meticulous about my environment, because I know that whatever is in there has to have some intention or purpose towards my mission. It can't just be like some silly shit,
It's subtle stuff too. Like yesterday or a couple days ago in Palm Springs, in the Airbnb, they've got seed oils. They've got like you can just tell our type of person from like what's the
yeah.
So we just like threw away all of their oils.
Yeah. What else do we do that place? We moved it around.
We revamped it. But yeah, it's environment, man, is so key. And you'll feel it when you go somewhere where, you align with energy, and then it and also like you don't know what's happening in like for us traveling a lot. You don't know what's happening in these houses or these like Airbnbs we're staying in, or, wherever we are, you don't know what's happened. So you got to like make sure that you're doing your due diligence, grounding yourself, coming from a place of a place where you're grounded before you can create. But anyway, my point on saying all that is that in the first couple of years it was consuming, and now moving more into creating, right?
Yeah. Well, you first have to clear off the plate, with your environment and with what you're consuming, and then you can add in better consumption stuff to go from level 0 to level 1, like all those books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Power of Now, all that
4 Hour
stuff.
Work
Like
week. You got to read all that.
I mean, this
stuff.
is like 3 years
Basic
ago.
level
I mean,
stuff.
if you're probably listening to this, you've probably done all that work already. But it's still like the personal development game never really ends. So I think that's kind of what we were saying.
It's a constant process.
Yeah. So where are you at now with personal development? Would you say?
I don't know if there's like levels how you can like rank it.
Yeah. Now it's just creating. Like you kind of go from that to just focusing on creating and being your own voice, Like really, for me at least, it's like really settling into my own voice. And now really, I don't really have too many like, books. It's a season, like books come in seasons for me, where it's just like, sometimes I'll have a big information learning phase, but most times it's like, just doing life and creating and getting experiential feedback. That's kind of how I see personal development. Now for me, it's like kind of more religion, honestly. That's like the next level of the game, is just the Bible. All that stuff comes from the Bible anyways,
Yeah, bro, that's huge. Yeah. I'm getting more reconnected with that. All my close friends are very on that journey too. Like, you have to have a connection with God.
Yeah, that's the new that's the path right now.
Because there's a lot that like there's no such thing as luck at the end of the day. Everything you do in business, making money, all this, it's strategy, it's consistency over a long period of time. It's mindset. 80% of it is mindset, right? It's just getting a few of these high value skills in place to be in the right vehicle with the right knowledge, right? And then working a decent bit. You don't need to necessarily work hard, right? Which is actually contrary to what a lot of people think. You don't have to necessarily work hard, but you have to be consistent, and you have to leverage your skill. And then a lot comes into God. A lot of it is, a lot of it is timing, right? And you have to be prepared for when that time comes, so that you are ready. Because you might have an opportunity. If you're not ready, it's going to pass you by.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, and then asking God, like praying and saying, okay, what should I do in this situation? What do you think I should do next? Right? Instead of taking it into your own hands, I'm going to do what I think is right. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if you tap in, man, and you pray, you'll be led. What's your process right now with God?
Um, I pray. I was doing like just morning prayers. Dude, honestly, right now I'm just like fucking. Right now is right now. Like I don't have any like, set habits other than daily walks.
Yeah.
And writing every day. Those are my two kind of like, not necessarily non-negotiables, but my two like benchmarks.
Yeah.
For where I'm at right now in this season. Just walk every day, and fucking ride every day. Basically, that's kind of where I'm at like right now. I don't think I have like a set routine or habit. Like, obviously we were surfing this morning, and I have a tool belt of like morning routines. Basically, I'm kind of finding now like that I kind of cycle out my morning routines for wherever I'm at. And you were talking yesterday about like being adaptable, and I think that's where I'm at right now. Is like just kind of stay adaptable, and I have so many different morning routine tools that help me in the season, like meditation, qigong, prayer, sitting meditation, yoga, working out fucking straight in the morning, and then walks. So I'm testing walks out, which I've been enjoying.
Walks are solid. Like, yeah. So I've found, man, because I used to have crazy like 3.5 hour routines in the morning, like doing 10 minutes of meditation and then bunch of stuff, man.
Yeah.
And just going through like, and then if you didn't get through all of it, you feel bad the rest of the day. And it's like you're human. You're not perfect. You can't do every single thing every single day. You can't. You can have everything, but you can't have everything at once, right? So that's why seasons is important. Right?
Yeah.
And so I found simple's better. But at the end of the day, yeah, you got to get 30 minutes of exercise in at least. You got to get the sunlight. You got to get walks are huge. I just had a call yesterday with my life coach, and he was, we've been planning a bunch of stuff with business and training and all this stuff, and like really tapped in. And it's a really exciting time, really busy right now. And so he was saying like basically, okay, now we need to schedule in time to relax, to just do nothing. And I thought that was very interesting because a lot of times we do get so busy, but just going on a simple walk, just going out for 10, 15 minutes can give you what you need for the whole day. Like you said, you get these downloads.
Yeah,
right? Or
exactly.
Like, just taking time to sit and think and let your brain
totally, dude.
Just talk to you.
So much fucking info out there. You don't need more info.
You need a cut. You don't need more info. Yeah, so I thought that I was like, that's it's simple. I was like, man, I need to start doing that. Like every week, he's like, let's choose something different. Let's do something different. Whether it's going on a walk, whether it's actually going and watching the sunset, and just actually watching it. That stuff is like very, very transformative.
Yeah. All right, so I got some questions from my audience.
Talk to me. What are the questions from the audience?
All right, let's see what they want to know. Let's see here. I have to hold my mic really weirdly because I don't want to.
It's been messing up for him. But you guys hear us. You guys got it. It's all good.
All right, so 2 things. So this guy's got personal branding. So the question was, you recorded 40K with less than 800 followers. He's talking about my first offer. Yeah. Which is wild, but curious to know more on a high level on your process and strategy for doing so. Don't expect a full breakdown because I'm sure others have paid for the info, but still curious nonetheless. So full breakdown of my strategy for how I did my initial offer launch and how I did 40K with that offer. So I think a lot of people want to know how I did that. They do. And I was sharing with you because you're kind of like doing your own thing.
I'm launching a cohort now here too, and so he's helping me market a little bit on
right, which is kind of how we got like more closer together, I guess. Not necessarily a closer, we've always been close, but like why we're kind of even hanging out and just workshopping
past week,
workshopping stuff. But yeah, when I did that, I was living in Bali for like 6 months, and I had been like writing emails very consistently. I still write emails, but I was writing emails, getting clients, and I just broke through like my first 17K a month. This was maybe 6 months before I did my launch. And then I was just sharing what I was doing, obviously like traveling, how we met in Tulum and all that. So I had built this kind of brand around the content space and around my lifestyle as a copywriter.
Yeah.
And the lifestyle of a copywriter is pretty nice, I would say. And so then everyone started asking about how I was doing all this, right? Like how I was, living in Bali, and like they saw I was like there for a while, and they're just like asking me like how to get into copy. I had a lot of like web designers and stuff who had clients in web design end up needing copy and wanting to offer them copy as well, so that they can like do, big ticket packages,
As an
like
upsell for their
as
web
an
packages.
upsell for their services too.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of those guys reach out to me and wanted me to teach them copy. And so I kind of just got the download, I guess, like the higher level process, because he's asking on higher level process. I kind of just got the download just to put together a small group, super streamlined. The high level process really is just like, it's actually super streamlined stuff. So literally launching on Instagram just through stories and saying, I'm putting a small group together. That's basically was what happened. And then, the offer was $3,000, and I had like 7 people join, and then there was like an upsell after. And yeah, all in all, it did probably total from the coaching aspect of copywriting, I probably did like $100,000 in all that stuff. So
The initial launch, $40,000,
and then all the upsells and all that. Yeah, since then, to like from initial launch to January. So initial launch was like June of 2022 to like maybe January something, around like 60 to $100,000 with that offer.
And you told me you're still getting guys that are interested.
Yeah, it's still like I got a DM the other day just out of the blue.
Residual, yeah.
Yo, interested in the group. I'm like, dude, that was a year ago, but okay. So yeah. That was that. In terms of like the fulfillment deliverables, it's literally just me hopping on Zoom every week and kind of teaching them how I do what I do, and then like obviously coaching them through that process of like how I went from 0 to 1 to 1 to 2,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you have information, a valuable skill set that you've learned, and you want to teach it to your audience, you certainly can,
Yeah, and like for me, I've been doing sales. He does copy. I've been doing high ticket remote sales.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the same thing here. This next month, taking on a few guys, doing the mentoring, launching, teaching them how to build out the skill, get an offer, place them in an offer, and help them make their first. I mean, $10K a month, man. It's very doable nowadays. Like that's
especially
minimum,
with closing.
With closing,
phone,
it's like
phone closing.
You can make 10 to 30K easily.
Right. All right, I got some more.
Any other questions here?
Yeah, travel, countries to maximize quality of life for someone's level of $5K per month, internet money to establish a place of growth. What? Okay,
How to make $5K a month? How to establish make it?
No. What countries to maximize quality of life for someone's level of $5K a month? Internet money.
That's internet money.
Yeah,
I mean, even $2 to $5K a month, man.
I know.
You can live amazing outside of the States.
Yeah, you really can. He said, I've seen you in Bali, Cape Town, and have heard these are good places to grow for what you're making / quality of life. For sure. I mean, Bali is a good place. Now it's a bit crowded. It's definitely a lot more expensive. It's kind of like, I mean, you're going to find a villa for like $3K a month, So it's like, you're still going to pay like Western prices almost.
Yeah, and so in SoCal here, same thing. It's like you're paying at least $2-3K. So it's Tulum has got like I don't know when you were in Tulum.
Tulum was getting expensive.
When you got, I was there I think before you, right?
Yeah, like
it was still decent, but I was shocked because I was expecting it to be like pretty cheap, but it was.
Dude, I remember paying like $20 for like my meal at some spot or whatever. I was like, "Fuck, this is expensive."
It's not
like the beach clubs are ridiculous.
Beach clubs are ridiculous.
So yeah, I mean, these hot travel spots are now kind of like very westernized. Like those 3 spots you just named, Tulum, Bali, Cape Town, they're not like
they're westernized. I mean, if you want to tap out, I can talk about some places where you want to tap out. But if you want to like tap in and be like with the digital nomads and the little like internet cafes and that all stuff.
Yeah, it's basically a fucking vacation spot at this point. Like those 3 spots. I mean, Cape Town maybe still less. It's Africa, It's like still like there's some dangerous spots. It's like a little bit it's not quite like overrun. You're still gonna find like community.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of in a haze when I was in Cape Town last year. I'm super excited to just like go see it with super fresh eyes this year. So I can't really give you. I mean, I can give you a decent read on it, but yeah, they're not like these places that you're gonna go and just like, you know, think you're gonna live super cheaply. You certainly can find cheap places there in these, you know, less developed places like, you know, Mexico, Indonesia.
South America, man, come on. Colombia, you got Medellin, which is really cheap.
Yeah.
It depends what you want. Like, it depends if you want to be around a community of other people that are also creators, entrepreneurs, doing digital like nomad stuff as well. That's going to play into it. Or if you don't mind just being tapped into some local culture, you can find places that are you'll be working from your laptop.
The biggest thing of the quality of life, he's asking kind of like about quality of life, is like the network and the friendships that you build out there, you know, and the community you build. Like that's the real reason you really go out there, is to build your network in your community.
So that's worth that's worth more money. Like, yeah, because I've been places, man, where I'm just sitting in a hut, you know, by myself, working, most beautiful paradise, but that's like very monk mode, very removed. You go there to work, or you go there to just get something done. But if you want like an actual lifestyle, then you need
it's a good lifestyle.
You need to find places with top spots. You've been to Hawaii as well.
Hawaii's good, yeah.
Hawaii's good.
Europe in the summer, of course. Like
Europe in the summer,
it's very party, but I'm sure you can find some decent places to, like
Caribbean,
Lisbon. Portugal.
I like Puerto Rico, man. I've been there like 6 or 7 times for just like working and chilling. Still decently cheap, like compared to the rest of the U.S.
What about now? Like, where are you at? Where are you at now with like, you know, travel stuff?
I go to Brazil every year. Brazil, I love Brazil because there's spots in Brazil that are still cheap. Yeah, it's not too overrun, and the fact that everyone speaks Portuguese sometimes scares off some Westerners. But I'm a little bit more extreme. I'm not your classic. I'm not your classic yoga. Let's go to Bali. Let's go to Tulum kind of guy. Like I go there, but I'm more like disconnect.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go somewhere that's a bit more extreme.
Yeah, man, you're like a wild, like the wild man. You know, like, I don't know if there's a archetype.
Wild man? I'm not a wild man.
Like, I don't know if there's like an archetype for that, but you have like, you know, you're fucking resourceful. You're out in nature.
Yeah.
You live on a boat. You know.
Yeah.
You're like a resourceful ass in the nature guy.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'll go places that, I was in Gambia, like a small little country in Africa.
Yeah, you're telling me about this Gambia trip.
Like Tanzania, all over Africa, Uganda, like a bunch of places that like, as it helps being a man. It does. Like some of these places I probably wouldn't go if I was a female. Also alone too as a man. Sometimes it can be a little bit dodgy, but you know, that's what I like, man. I like it. Got to live on the edge.
All right, so he's got, lastly, what are some more esoteric, underrated favorite books? He's read Wild Nights.
Okay, good one.
Have you read that one?
I've read half of it. Half of it.
Yeah, it's a crazy one. The end is like, half is about good. Curious if you have any other like that. Blue Truth is also like that.
Never read that.
If you haven't read Blue Truth. You really read like all the David Data stuff?
I've read a decent amount of it.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought you were just like, you just read Way of Superior Man. Because people who I share David Data with, they've only like read
usually
Way of Superior Man. They just stop.
No, I dove in a little bit because I was interested on his philosophies and stuff. There's some like, we can get in that. But there's some stuff I like, some stuff I don't like. There's like 15% of it I probably don't take.
Yeah, like what?
Mainly like the feminine, like I'd say like the masculine needs to be like very feminine or can be feminine in a way.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like we have feminine, masculine.
Yeah. Which I do agree. Like we do have both parts,
like, but there's the restorative aspect that I kind of agree with, like watching TV, you know, or like there's like a restorativeness that kind of makes you balanced, you know, because otherwise you're a little off balanced and you're not like able to just be sometimes. You know what I mean? Like if you're like too attached to like, you get like too high
strung.
Yeah, too high strung and just like fascist almost. That's kind of what he talks about. Like if you go a little bit far off that angle, but what were you saying? Like in terms of like?
Yeah, basically that just like You need both. You need both. But I think he does encourage men to be more, like definitely like explore that side, the other side a lot.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. But I think in today's society, we also have to safeguard the masculinity a lot, and we need to be careful. It's a lot of people. Everyone's always gonna. They're gonna commend the feminine side is not under attack as far as a man, right? The masculine is more where we have to safeguard and make sure we're balancing that, right? Not becoming
if you're too feminine, you gotta
don't want to become too feminine as a man.
If you're too feminine,
as a masculine man,
you gotta go.
Good.
You gotta fucking go out in nature and just like learn how to be a man, basically.
And the reason I say that is like I do have a lot of like more tendencies towards that. Like I'm very creative. I have these like kind of aspects that he talks about as being more, relaxing and just kind of like disconnecting and chilling, right? But at the end of the day, I am a man, right? You're a man, so you have to also safeguard that. And I think in today's society, that is not. It's hard to be a man. Some people don't raise the bar enough as a man, and they're living feminine, passive lives.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So get your man stuff up. Then once you're good, then we can start exploring the other.
Yeah.
I don't know. How would you put that?
What do you mean?
How would you put where do you fall in that like polarity?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just about like the world needs to feel that you can fight and that you can that you can hold your shit, that you have a spine actually. Most people have no spine.
Yeah, you gotta.
Most people are just so nice, like nice, fake nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta be. Yeah, you gotta stand up for what you believe in. You gotta have your principles. You have to have that. Figure that stuff out. If you don't have it figured out, go figure it out. Build yourself up. Make sure that you have, some financial resources. That you have, you're able to kind of create your own life how you want everything, and then we can start looking into. I mean, you look at the ancient Greeks and these the Romans. They built themselves up, the most fit dudes, most shredded dudes. Conquered a bunch of they were the best fighters. Then they would go sit in the saunas and meditate and talk about philosophy. But it's after they built themselves.
Well, it's just about like I mean I like David because of his like distinction of the feminine and the masculine, like the way he really just spells it out. Like this is masculine, this is feminine. That's what's useful for me, is like seeing where those two things are, and knowing when you're being feminine or when you're being masculine, and when you need to restore your feminine and when you need to be fully in your masculine.
That's true,
like for example, like a place like New York versus a place like Hawaii, right? I mean, he gives that example in all his books. Like New York, you're gonna be masculine, getting shit done. Time is like,
time is money.
Yeah, time is money. You're even telling me yesterday, they speak really fast, like people from East Coast.
East Coast, yeah.
Whereas Hawaii, I mean, total opposite, super flowy, just like restore. And so if you're too much, or maybe even like too much masculine, meaning like you have no feminine feeling, like the thing about David that I understand is like have your heart like Jesus, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Jesus is the basically epitome of kind of like a man, you know what I mean? Where it's like his heart is wide open, he can feel, he has empathy, but he's also on his mission and he's not straying from his mission.
That's a great example
from God, like that's kind of how I that's my take on it, at least, is like you can feel and bring someone to the depth of presence and carry the presence of God in your body with every action and step you take, and like how you move your body, and still be connected to God and like moving on your mission, not straying from your mission, loving to the depths of endless love while still carrying out your task and fulfilling your purpose here on earth.
Yeah, man, no, it's true. Like, yeah, you gotta have both sides.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta have both sides. But that's I agree with that. And also like some of the things that he talks about as being more like strictly masculine or strictly feminine. I think there's a bit more of there's nuances, right? Like this is obviously it's a lot of generalizations,
Yeah.
right? Like, but I do, yeah. You gotta balance yourself, man.
Yeah. All right. Here's one for you. Here's one for you. I think, freelancing versus starting an agency, and what income should you make that transition? Because you were doing an agency, right?
I did freelancing before that even too.
Yeah.
I think that depends a lot on what you're doing. Depends on what actually that is. Like let's say you're a videographer or photographer, for example. Probably gonna be better to freelance, right? At the beginning. I mean, at the beginning everyone freelances. Mm-hmm. Right? Until you have enough clients that you can build up and you can leverage a team and you can hire out people that you can train that can actually do the skill that you've been doing, and then you manage that. Then you get time back. Right?
Yeah.
And what was it? He said freelancer agency?
When to transition.
Or when to transition.
Because what was your agency? You were doing ads? I think I remember we met when you were doing like...
I had an advertising agency.
Yeah.
Before that, I had a copywriting agency for some time.
Yeah.
We do copywriting. I did a little bit of the writing, but right off the bat, I pretty much hired a team that did most of it. Advertising agency, same thing. Ran a little bit of ads, and then I hired out a couple contractors for that. So, yeah, I mean, it depends if you like doing what you like. If you like doing the service, or if you like more connecting. For me, my strengths, I figured out my strengths are more like connecting, finding clients, connecting with them, and selling them the service.
I mean, dude, you can like connect with anybody. Like, you're the type of person that I've just seen like connect with fucking, anyone. Just like even the people at the desk, like at the training desk wherever we went for the gym.
Oh yeah.
What was that place called?
My gym fit. Yeah.
Yeah. Even like at your gym, you're just like buddies with the people. Like some people like raised in the West are just so like like fucking quiet to themselves, can't connect with anyone. But no, you're like you can connect with anyone. So that's definitely your skill, and that's why I think you're good at like closing and all that, because you really just get underneath them and say like, "Yo, like what are you,
just
how can
you help people out?" The most important word to anybody is their own name. So I always ask people, anyone in the service industry, I always ask, "What is your name?" Before I say thank you, what is your name? Like, let's say I order something. What is your name? Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. How are you doing? Have a nice day. Like, actually mean it.
Yeah.
Well, that goes so far. I've gotten free stuff. I learned this from my dad, man. My dad does this all the time, and he'll always get rooms upgraded. He'll get free like sides, free drinks, free desserts, and that little thing, man, just showing a little bit of genuine, actual kindness. No one does that, so you're gonna get treated better. You're gonna get better service.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, that's what I loved with my agency was I love talking to people. I love helping people solve problems. I love helping people make more money. And then in my network, I knew people that could do that. And so I connect them with those people, and I get paid. And that's what sales is, man. Really, sales is just how can you help people out?
Yeah.
So freelance to agency, it's going to be case by case for you, and it's also going to be your skills. You got to look at your skills.
I think
are you more a head down person like grinding, or are you more are you more like a higher level? Do you like kind of the management side of things? So you have to know yourself. I think it's important.
Yeah, I mean, there's two paths you can kind of take as like a freelancer. I took path number one, and there's path number two is the agency model, which is like, let's say you're working for a client and you're making, I don't know, $2K a month with one client, and then you start going to 5K, then you get 8K, and then you want to scale and like, take on more clients. So there's one aspect to take on more clients, and you do that by hiring people under you and becoming the go-to person who has a specific service that you're selling, right? Like you're productizing your service basically.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing with an agency, is you're making your service an actual product, right? And you're selling that product to mass amounts of people. So you need a lot of clients to buy that product, just like as if you're selling a widget, right? Like some type of widget e-commerce thing. you want maximum customer sales. You want everyone to try your special thing, right? Because there's a specific product and a unique way it works and why it's really good. So that's the agency model, right? Like if you're someone who wants to like kind of branch out and kind of build a big business and build like a team and have like manage people, and if you like that sound of like really being busy all the time, being on calls, just being a go-getter, like being at it, right? Like that's kind of what the agency model is. But if you're someone like me, super chill, just kind of likes to wake up, works 3 hours a day, surfs, fucking hangs out with his friends, that kind of thing, and just like really just have a work, like you were saying, like as little as possible, then that's option one, which is becoming a boutique freelancer. And that's what I do, is like you instead of creating a product with your service and increasing clients, you're increasing your fulfillment and your quality of service, so that when you do work with one client, your name gets known as like the best person for that unique skill and that unique service, right? And so that's like the boutique way. And what you're scaling on is your price. So you're increasing your prices versus increasing the quantity of clients. So it's quality versus quantity, right? Because especially when you have like an agency like that, like it's kind of tough to have the highest quality stuff and manage all those people and manage all those tasks when you have like so many people under you that you have to like train and you have to create SOPs to like make sure the quality is really spot on.
Exactly.
But when it's just you and you become the go-to guy for a specific specific thing, for example, for me, it's like copywriting, VSLs, and email. Like as my name gets more and more known for like, being the go-to guy for that, then my prices obviously increase and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of how I think about it.
That's a great way to put it, man. Because yeah, I learned the hard way. There's a point where I had like almost 35 clients I was servicing every month. It was hectic. It was not fun.
Really?
Too many people. And so then I repivoted my offer, and I was like, all right, now we're gonna have less clients and have higher ticket. That's the same thing. I mean, there's a lot of management that goes into running an agency, right?
It's kind of fun though. I mean,
It's fun. It's fun.
I don't know how was your experience. Like, did you enjoy it? Like, did you have fun?
I enjoyed it. I had fun, man. It was all, and it's the basis of what gave me all my tool sets, my skill sets now in my toolbox. Is I can do cold outreach. I can do I've done hiring. I've done interviews with people. I've done run actually in the actual business, running the service. You learn a lot of skills. You're researching softwares to use for your team. You're creating schedules, like everything, man. Creating SOPs, right? Filming. Filming a lot of content that you can reuse to teach people. Really, it's like you learn how to do it, and then you teach it to someone. Then you learn how to do something new, and then you teach that to someone, and so then you just keep learning it, and then replacing that skill with someone who can do it.
Yeah.
So it's great for. I wouldn't say it's probably it's probably not the beginner model. I probably wouldn't start with running an agency. I've been running businesses since I was 13, 14 years old, doing all kinds of different things from e-commerce to trading, all the stuff, all the ways that people make money online. So agency was kind of like the next progression. Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, it's. I'd say the number one thing is develop a skill, get a few clients, and then you start to scale up, and it's kind of a natural progression. You'll know when is the time. But again, it's up to your personality, right?
Yeah.
When I first got into this, I was okay. I want to work a couple hours a day and chill, and I did that for a long period of time. And then I got into a mode where I was like a couple years with seasons where I want to work and I want to make a lot of money. Yeah. And that sacrifices your social life, that sacrifices your traveling, right? And so you have to balance that. And depending on what you want, also who you are, right?
Right.
What are your strengths? Right? There's learnable skills. There's things you can improve on, right? But at the end of the day, I'll tell you. I mean, if you're not good at sales, you're not good at sales, right? Like you can be taught a lot of different things, but if you don't know how to talk to people, maybe that's just something that it's not your skill, and that's fine. There's other things you can do.
Yeah, I think sales for me at least, sales are fucking easy. Like, it's literally just like hop on a call, see if it's a good fit.
It
I
comes
mean, I was
natural.
telling you,
It comes natural. Some people. Some people that's very hard.
Yeah.
It gives them a lot of anxiety to talk to someone new.
Well, you can like that's the easiest part of the sales process, at least for like copy, because like it's literally it's not sales. Like you're just seeing if it's a good fit with the client, seeing if you can help them, and then saying, this is what I do, this is how I can help you. That's it. Here's what it costs.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you want it or not?
Yeah, it's like, that's pretty much it. So.
Any more questions from the people?
I think that was it. That was the one weird one, which was the esoteric question, I guess. Yeah, that was it from those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, man. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways to make money, man.
Yeah.
What did you do before copywriting? Did you make money online other ways?
I was trying like Amazon FBA stuff.
That's so tough.
It was dumb.
That is so
it was
tough.
so dumb.
I talked to a lot.
In terms of like online
I talked
stuff,
to a lot of people that have done that.
It's so dumb.
And I'm always consulting, telling them, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, bro. I wouldn't even get into it now.
I would not get an Amazon FBA.
No, I mean, of course not.
Start an e-commerce brand. You'll make way better margins.
Yeah,
Just-
probably
and
better than
with
doing
TikTok, you can market it super easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. No, I've done a lot of different ways. Like I was editing videos. I was like when I was first started out, I was doing trade, bro. Forex trading is the worst thing ever.
You ever do that?
No.
I did that in the early days.
It
man.
sounds
I lost
terrible.
so much money.
Sounds
It's all
toxic.
just a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, it sounds toxic.
Like only 2% success rate.
I like how Luke Belmar put it, where it's just like create, multiply, preserve.
Great multiply preserve.
I think it's preserve. I'm not sure. Capital Club stuff.
He made all his cash in e-commerce.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you got to you got to go through the personal development thing. You got to get your mindset right, because 80% of it is mindset.
It really is, man.
Can you
Dude, I
actually
can't
sit
tell
down
you.
and work for 1 hour, 2 hours a day? Can you cut out all of the noise? Can you cut out the toxic friends? Get all that situated. Then learn a high value skill and make as much money as you possibly can.
And get a good network around you as well during that time.
Well, that comes. You might even have to go that first bit. You might not have too much of a network. I'd say even the first year or so.
Yeah.
Keep getting in and just grinding.
Yeah.
Just no. I'm going to focus on this for 6 months a year.
Yeah.
Grind the skill out. Learn the skill. Then once you have some cash coming in, okay, then let's network a bit.
Yeah.
Build your social circle, and then keep stacking cash. And then after that. Then once you have the proper money, then you can start to.
Because you and I kind of have similar brands inside of like how we've maybe even. I mean, a little bit. Like you have a way different background than I do, but like, in terms of like how people kind of find us and reach out, we're both like similar, like digital entrepreneur, but in like the content space. Like you even started out as like a travel creator, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, I was like a little mini micro.
Yeah.
Travel creator kind of.
Yeah.
Which was fun, but then I realized, okay, there's no cash in this.
Right.
Which is sad.
Because what I was saying is like people ask like how we got started into it, and for me, my mindset is what you're saying is like, I'm gonna make this work until when? Just until it works. There's no timeline for me. Like I don't care. Like when I first started copywriting, I didn't even care if it took me 2 years to make my first $2,000. Because I literally was in that mindset. Like if it takes 2 years for me to make $2,000, that would all be worth it, because I know I'd have a high value skill that I can use and like be work
And it's
when
your
I want
own.
and be
It's your
free.
own money. I'd rather be making $2,000 a month than $10,000 a month working at a job, because
Yeah.
I made that $2,000 myself, and it's
Yeah.
freedom. It represents freedom.
Totally.
It's not the money. The money aside, it's freedom. It's the fact that you can provide for yourself. You can travel where you want to travel when you want to travel.
Yeah, it's insane.
You have your own schedule. You make your own schedule. You're location independent. That's freedom. And that
Yeah.
was always my number one goal and North Star, even when I was back in university.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason I got into like creating content and doing the videography stuff, is because I wanted to travel. That was it. I wanted to travel like people I saw on Instagram. I was like, they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah. You can do it. If we can do it, you can do it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's really not that.
people overcomplicate it. Man.
Yeah, I know.
And a lot of people, and I was like, I'm not getting a job after university. I'm not like,
Yeah.
not happening. Oh yeah, bro. It's a wild journey, man. It's so many different things that fall into place. And still, and somehow, man, it's wild. Like I was thinking about this the other day because I was looking back. I was like, man, I always, whenever there's always enough. I've always had enough, and I've always found a way. And there's been times where I was like, okay, what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do next? Like money's tight, or this situation is kind of fell through. This business partner kind of fell through. Like, what's next? And I've always found a way. There's always the next thing. You always make it happen.
Yeah.
I don't know for you, man, if you had like a bit of a rocky paths,
Rocky paths, like on the
rocky points.
entrepreneur journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember. I remember when I was in Bali, when I first moved out there, I was like down to my last like $600, and I just had to like fucking figure it out. And dude, that was like crazy. Like when I kind of like first moved out, I don't know what I did. I was like clientless. Basically, I was like full reset. Like it was basically like a full reset when I moved out there. And actually, Bali will kind of do that for you as well. Like for people who've like kind of never been, you'll kind of just get like punched straight away, and like reset. And what I realized with that as well is like letting go of things helps me move forward. Like letting go of all attachments was really what allowed new shit to come. And I really tapped into the flow of like Bali when I was in there, of that environment. And like I tapped into the magic of that place for me when I was able to let go of my old clients that weren't serving me, like all this stuff. And I was down to like my last 600. I just kind of like let go in that moment. And then what ended up happening next? Then I closed a 1,500 project with some friends of mine, for emails, just like a simple like email thing. And then I think I was like back into free. Then I got into VSLs, and that's right when I really got into VSLs. And then, and yeah, I mean, that was a rocky point where I was just kind of like out of money, didn't know where I was going to stay next month, didn't really have it all set up, and was like kind of out of clients and didn't really have a foreseeable client future, until I just kind of like let go, and then was like looking at opportunities and stuff. I'm not really sure how I managed that one, thinking back, but yeah, that was a rocky point. What about you?
I mean, yeah, man. There's been a bunch. I had a couple. Yeah, I mean, when I got into this game, I had some savings. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make. I have like this kind of runway of savings.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, when I got towards the end of that, it was getting a little bit tight. Then I was like, okay, I gotta make something work. I gotta find a way to. Yeah, I remember it took me like a year to get my first client. Right. A lot of people talk about, oh yeah, making their first, few months, whatever. It took me a decent bit of time. Right. Then I had some consistency. I was doing like between $2,000 and $5,000 a month, pretty solid for about like two years, probably a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it was like, okay, that's when I was like, I gotta take this up to the next level. It took me a long time to push past that. I remember a lot of people was like, okay, very, very fast. But it took me a long time. I remember finally figured it out. Then another point, I had a business partner split. I was completely lost. This a couple clients, and I was like down to zero roster. And for like several months, nothing, man. Then I pivoted my offer, started working with like more local businesses, moved out of e-commerce. And then, I got it to a point where I got it consistent again. And yeah, that's actually, there was a point, like at a point where it was so consistent where I was only working, literally working twice a week, once every 2 weeks, literally just doing payroll. I remember, and just checking on messages pretty much. I was like, this is sick. This is literally the 4-hour work week, Tim Ferriss. And that's when I like just went on like a 7-month travel spree. But then I realized too, like at the end of the day, there's something about work too that's fulfilling. Like, moving forward, there's always
the next, right? And so I was like kind of just stagnant, enjoying myself, having all these fun experiences. But then I was like, okay, I need to build this up. I need to try something new. And then I looked at my agency and I said, this is all good. I'm making money, but like at the end of the day, what do I enjoy? What do I love? I like helping people. I like talking to people.
Yeah.
So that's what I was like, okay, I'm going to focus down more on sales. And then stop doing all the management stuff from that. But yeah, man, no, it's still a process. It's still a process, but I mean, the early days, man, when I was freelancing before at the agency, it was pretty dodgy. I mean, at least in content creation, you get a client, and you get a good payout, and then it's okay. You might be a couple months before you have another big payout, so you're just kind of living off that, and it's just so unpredictable. Yeah, man, like that's hard when you're starting out.
Yeah.
But I had the mentality. I always had the mentality. I'm gonna make it work, no matter if I have to sleep on a couch, if I have to sleep in my car, I'll make it work. And that's what got me through. I'd always just think about.
Yeah, I always just like in those moments. I always just like, I just have faith. I just like I'm just gonna have faith right now.
Yeah.
I always tell my students like, whenever you're at the bottom of because entrepreneur is just, it's not like a straight line to the top. Like it's like literally like fucking
Ups and downs, man.
ups and downs like, all the time. Like even at the top, you're fucking up and down. So it's never like you're gonna hit those peak troughs and peak peak highs and peak lows, right? And so I always tell my students like, when you're at that peak low, that's when you got to be the most optimistic, because that's when you got to be ridiculously optimistic, literally like stupidly optimistic. Like everything is falling apart and you're literally just like here having the best time of your life. You're like, I love this, Like that's how I.
That's so true, Cameron, because it's wild. Because I'm actually just really thinking about it now, like actually talking to you about this, like the lows. But until now, like I've thought about it a few times, but for the most part, I look back at my journey. I'm like, no, I haven't had any lows. But when I look back and I actually really analyze, I'm like, okay, actually, those were lows. Most people would probably say those were lows. Like I had a pretty low point beginning of this year when I was just meditating in a hut in Africa, in Gambia, just chilling. But I was living an amazing life, eating fresh fruit every day, surfing. But financially and like kind of the direction of my career was a bit rocky. I didn't kind of know what was the next step, right? Mm-hmm. But I was still enjoying myself, right? I was still having a good time.
Yeah, but
and then
like,
it worked its way out. It because of me being in that situation, it came to fruition, and I was able to then see clearly what's next.
Yeah.
And I kind of just, it wasn't like, okay, this or this. It was kind of the door open, and then I just went through it. It was very simple.
Yeah.
Here's what's next. Take it or not.
Same thing with me. Like for my cohort, the first time, it was kind of a divine download as well. Like I had talked with one of my mentors. He's like, dude, why don't you just launch your own offer? And I was like afraid, I was like, I don't know, whatever.
Can I actually, the success I've had, can I actually get people to have the same success?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was like a little, what would I do? Like he kind of, honestly, having my coach Ed Rie, in there to help me with the offer, like that's the high level hack, actually, having like a mentor teach you how to launch your shit.
My coach was the same, man, because I was thinking, should I do this, should I not, for like 2-3 months.
Yeah, but he was like, here's exactly how it works, and I was like, I just followed it to see it worked. So, what I was saying is like, I remember having this moment of like, I don't know, everything was like kind of going wrong, in Bali as well. Not like financially necessarily, but just like, I don't know, just spiritually. I just had that super low peak, and even at that $600 month, I was also like, that time I was freaking out. I wasn't like as like level headed, but yeah, I just like, I was like, oh, I'm freaking out right now. Because I had noticed the pattern, when this was about like 3 months later in June. I was like, oh, like, kind of like not doing that as well. And then I just started praying, and I was like, oh, God's taking care of it. It's good. And then bang, straight up again. So yeah, like having faith in those low points is what's going to pull you through, and just like really, really pull you through.
I know it's cool. It's good to reflect and just think back on the path. I can't imagine 10 years from now, what's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
it's gonna be crazy. crazy path, man.
Sweet. All right, well.
Should we log it off?
Yeah,
Any
well,
last words you
anything
wanna
else
say?
we should talk about?
No, man, I think that's sick. Yeah, check out Cameron's cohort. Check out my cohort if you guys are interested in doing sales, interested in doing copywriting.
Yeah,
Or whatever you guys choose. You guys got to do this. This life is sick.
Yeah.
You guys got to, like, it's so effortless.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I think it's just like we've been meaning to do this podcast. It's just funny how it's like.
There's always stuff that comes up, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's life.
Should we put in like the original intro?
We can put in the original intro.
All right,
you guys can see us trying to make. We're in Palm Springs trying to figure it out.
Palm Springs. We'll do that. We'll do like Palm Springs intro and then like bang clip to
this.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. No, solid.
Sick.
Good to chat and catch up.
Yeah.
Until the next one.
Dude, I'm glad we got the surf trip in and got to like do all this stuff. Honestly, genuinely, it's been like fucking just so nice to be actually in San Diego. I'm walking around and like looking at it in San Diego as well. It's like it's got this really nice energy to it that's kind of like mixed between like being in LA. It's like fucking very high energy, you know, very like astral energy. A lot of like hustle and like kind of fakers as well, like people dressing weird, I guess. All kinds of shit you see in LA, just being in LA. But like down here, people seem a lot more like not flow, but you kind of just put Hawaii and LA together and mix. It's kind of San Diego, I guess. In a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
in terms
San
of like
Diego's
the
way more around surfing.
Yeah, way more surf centered, way more like grounded, I guess. Way more grounded.
Familial. Like there's a lot of
yeah.
There's more real people. There's people that actually just work and just do
just seems
stuff.
happy, fun place. Yeah, while also still being like having that connection to business and stuff, so it's cool. I like it.
Bro, it's a sick spot. I like it.
Yeah. Anyways,
cool. Well, boys and girls, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, listening, watching, wherever you might be, and we'll see you soon.
Sweet. Peace.
Peace.
You tired?
I don't know. I'm not tired. I'm just like relaxed.
What happened to your chin thingy? Is that a scar?
Yeah, this is from a skateboard accident.
Oh, really?
Broke my jaw in 28 pieces.
Damn.
I have 4 titanium plates and 17 screws.
Fuck. How? You're bored or like just on?
Long downhill, skateboarding. Superman out.
Really?
Yeah, it happened like I was 19.
Where'd you land on? Like, what'd you land
On a sidewalk.
Oh, right there? Oh, shit.
Drove my jaw up into my skull, broke the condyle, shattered like the side.
Your face was like bleeding.
Yeah, it was cut open here, cut right here too.
Yeah.
Broke my front 2 teeth, so they're capped.
Dang.
Gnarly, bro. My face swelled up for about 2 months. I had to get my whole jaw wired shut like this, so I couldn't talk.
Really?
Yeah, for 2 months.
Damn.
This was right going to university, freshman year, one day before classes started.
Damn.